Om Shri Sai Ram. Sai message for today, taken from satyasai.org. In the world today, the number of intellectuals who are engaged in breaking up the one into the many and fostering divisive forces is on the increase. On the other hand, the number of those who recognize unity in diversity is on the decline. In a world wrestling with disunity, disorder, and chaos, it is only the sense of unity underlying the multiplicity that can bring about peace. The world sorely needs today people imbued with this feeling. Sri Sathya Sai Baba, August 24th, 1991. Welcome to Sai Prema Nilayam. It's very nice to see you all. Today, usually I forget thanking the center which comes and does take care of the Saturday activities. Today is very important because Sai Prema Nilayam center is doing it. If I forget, then all the people here in the Sai Prema Nilayam say, hey, how can you forget? That's not the point, because the good thing about it is that first Sai Prema Nilayam was there as an international center, immediately it had an international conference, it's an international center. And then we had national council meetings, so it's a national center. And then we have plenty of regional meetings, a regional center. Then we have center meetings too, centers. So what classification they can do? Then I said, it's all classification. Swami is all inclusive. He is not this center, all those things. And then here, Swami talks about unity and diversity. We are all united. We have to be connected. And who is the root? The root is Him. The moment we realize that He is the root, He is the one who is the source, then we have no issues. It's all no problem at all. Outside so many various forms we are all, but inside we are all one. So it is very amazing that how Swami, the quote also reflects. Every time when you look at the quote, I didn't prepare anything. It automatically comes, he just prints and gives it to me. And it really gives that very beautiful feeling. The announcement wise today, there's one important announcement. Next Saturday, we are going to celebrate our Ganesha Chaturthi celebrations here. And you know, Ganesha is very important. If you miss him, then if you want to remove all your obstacles, you better be here, okay? If you don't want to remove your obstacles, it's okay. But if you want to remove all your obstacles, and you all know that, see, even one time, just a discourse I was hearing a little bit on Ganesha, and then it's so amazing that Swami is saying, Shiva himself is putting Ganesha number one. So he's a Pratama Pujya. So he definitely so important, and he is Karya Siddhi Ganapati. Whether you want Bhagavan or not, but first get him, so that all your Karyas Siddhi, and also you want Siddhi, Buddhi, all those things he can give. And of course, finally you will realize that the highest what Swami has come to give us. Okay, so today, that's most important is that our Ganesha will take us there, but today the young adults prepared, oh no, not with the Ganesha's blessings, we will take you guys there. So they are going to illumine us today. We, for the past, for a couple of months before, we saw service, that is karma, and then we saw devotion, love, that is bhakti yoga. Now illumination, they are going to take us into the jnana yoga path. So first let's hear them and what they have prepared. And first we will hear the Swami's discourse clip, and then we will hear them, and then what they have prepared, and we can all enjoy illumination, and they have come here to illumine us. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram. Swami's discourse.
సరి అయిన ఆనందాన్ని గుర్తించాలంటే మూడు మార్గముల్లో మనం సరైన అన్వేషణ జరపాలి.
For the man today, in order to attain the status of bliss, he should follow three paths.
మొట్టమొదటిది తెలుసుకోవలసినది తెలుసుకోవాలి.
The first path is he should know what he is supposed to know.
వదలవలసినది వదలాలి.
Second, he should drop what should be given up.
చేరవలసినది చేరాలి.
Third, he should reach the goal.
నిజమైన ఆనందం లభిస్తుంది.
The real bliss can be experienced with these three.
తెలుసుకోవలసినది ఏమిటి?
What is it we should know?
ఏమిటి ఈ జగత్?
What is this world?
ఎంతకాలం నేను ఉండగలను?
How long do I live?
ఏమి అనుభవిస్తున్నాను?
What is it that I experience?
మన కనుముందుగా ఎంతమందో పోతున్నారు, ఎంతమందో పుడుతున్నారు.
We witness the birth and death of many individuals before our eyes.
జగత్.
The whole thing is Jagat.
జగత్ రావటం పోవటం జరుగుతుండాలి.
Everything comes and vanishes.
కనుకనే ఈ జగత్ యొక్క తత్వము ఇది వచ్చిపోయేటువంటిది అని తెలుసుకున్నప్పుడు మనకు ఆనందం వేస్తుంది.
When once we know that the world comes and passes off, you'll be blissful.
ఇంకా తెలుసుకోవలసినటువంటిది తెలుసుకోవాలి.
You should know what you're supposed to know.
ఇదే మన ప్రపంచం.
This is the world.
దీన్ని చక్కగా తెలుసుకున్నావు.
You have known well.
కానీ వదలవలసినటువంటిది వదలాలి.
But yet you should give up that which you are supposed to.
ఏమిటి మనం వదలవలసినటువంటి?
What should be given up?
కేవలం ఈ భ్రాంతి,
This illusion.
సత్యము కానటువంటి దానిపైన మనం సత్యమని విశ్వసించి దానిని గట్టిగా పట్టుకొని అనేక విధమైనటువంటి బాధలకు గురి అవుతున్నాము.
That which is not true, you consider it true and you suffer.
ఏదో నన్ను మాయ పట్టుకొని పీడిస్తుందాదని, లేక నన్ను దుఃఖము పీడిస్తుందాదని, ఆ యొక్క దుఃఖం నన్ను వదలటం లేదని మనం భావిస్తుంటాము.
We consider that we are trapped by this illusion and that we are miserable.
దుఃఖానికి ఏమైనా కాళ్ళు, చేతులు, కళ్ళు, ముక్కులు ఉంటున్నాయా?
Does misery have any legs, hands, eyes and nose?
నీకున్నాయి కాళ్ళు, చేతులు, ముక్కులు, కన్నులు.
You have the legs and the head and the nose and eyes.
దానిని పట్టావు కానీ అది నిన్ను పట్టలేదు.
You only caught hold of the misery and not the other way round.
దుఃఖానికి ఏ విధమైనటువంటి యొక్క అంగములు లేవు.
And this grief has no limbs.
లేని అంగములు నీవు కల్పించి, నీలో ఉన్నటువంటి అంగములు నీవు మరిపించి, అది నిన్ను పట్టి పీడిస్తున్నట్టుగా బాధిస్తున్నావు.
In fact, you have forgotten your own organs and limbs, attributing them to misery and thus inflicting pain upon yourself.
బాధించేటువంటిది దుఃఖము కాదు.
So you don't suffer because of that.
నేనే దుఃఖమును బట్టి బాధపడుతున్నాను.
In fact, you got hold of the grief.
నా అజ్ఞానము.
This is ignorance.
అనే ఈ అజ్ఞానాన్ని వదలాలి.
Therefore, you should give up this ignorance.
అప్పుడే మనకు ఆనందం.
Then you'll have this bliss.
చేరవలసినది ఏమిటి?
Where should you reach?
ఎక్కడ నుండి పుట్టుమో అక్కడికి వచ్చి చేరిపోవాలి.
You should go back to the place of birth or origin.
ఎచ్చట పుట్టెనచ్చటికి నేగుటనైతము ప్రాణికోటికిన్.
It's quite natural for the living creatures to go back to the place of origin.
ఆత్మ నుండి వచ్చాం, ఆత్మకు పోయి చేరాలి.
You have come out of Atma. You can go back.
మనకు ఆనందము.
Then you'll have bliss.
దీనినే ఉపనిషత్తులు అసతోమా సద్గమయ. ఈ అసత్తు నుంచి సత్యము అనేటువంటి దాన్ని తెలుసుకోవాలి.
Lead us from untruth to truth.
సత్యము ఉండినప్పుడే అసత్యం అనేటువంటి షాడో మనకు గుర్తవుతుండాలి.
Where there is truth, you will find untruth as its shadow.
తమసోమా జ్యోతిర్గమయ.
Lead us to light from darkness.
ఈ డార్క్నెస్ అంటే ఏమిటి?
What is darkness?
వెలుగు అంటే ఏమిటి?
What is light?
ఉన్నది ఒక్కటే వెలుగు.
In fact, there is only one light.
ఇది మనకు కనిపించినప్పుడే మనకు డార్క్ గా ఉంటుండాలి.
When you don't find the light, it's dark there.
ప్రత్యేకంగా డార్క్, ప్రత్యేకంగా వెలుగు లేనే లేదు.
The light and dark are not present separately.
ఈ వెలుగు యొక్క అభావమే చీకటి.
One is an expression, the other is not.
అనేటువంటి దానిని మనం తెలుసుకొని ఈ యొక్క డార్క్నెస్, చీకటిని మనం వదలాలి.
And therefore, you have to give up the darkness of ignorance.
వెలుగును మాత్రమే మనం దృష్టిలో ఉంచుకోవాలి.
And we should keep in view this light.
మృత్యోర్మా అమృతం గమయ.
Lead us from death to immortality.
ఈ చావులు పుట్టుకలు దేనికి ఉంటున్నాయి?
To whom the cycle of birth and death belong?
దేహానికి.
Only to the body.
నీకు చావు లేదు, పుట్టుక లేదు.
You neither have birth nor death.
నీవు పుట్టినవాడు కాదు, చచ్చేవాడు కాదు.
You are not the one who is born or who is going to die.
పుట్టితే ఏది చస్తుంది.
It's only the body.
పుట్టినటువంటిదే గిట్టుతుంది.
That which is born dies.
కనుకనే ఇది దేహమునకు సంబంధించినటువంటివి కానీ చావు పుట్టుకలు ఆత్మకు సంబంధించినవి కాదు.
Therefore, birth and death are associated with the body and not with the spirit.
కనుక ఆత్మ శాశ్వతము.
The Atma is forever.
అదే సత్యము.
That is truth.
అదే నిత్యము.
That is eternal.
అదే అమృతత్వము.
That is immortal.
ఇలాంటి దీంట్లో మనం ప్రవేశించాలి.
We should have that knowledge there.
అప్పుడే మనకు నిజమైన ఆనందము.
Then only we will attain bliss.
నిత్యము మీరు ప్రార్థన చేస్తున్నారు.
You pray every day.
అసతో మా సద్గమయ తమసో మా జ్యోతిర్గమయ మృత్యోర్మా అమృతం గమయ.
Every day you pray.
మూడింటిని ప్రార్థన చేస్తున్నాం కానీ మూడింటిని మనం తెలుసుకోవటం లేదు.
Every day you pray, oh God, lead us from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality, without knowing the true essence.
కనుకనే తెలుసుకోవాల్సింది తెలుసుకోవాలి.
So, we should know what we should know.
వదలవలసినటువంటిది వదలాలి.
Give up what we should.
చేరవలసిన స్థానం చేరాలి.
And we should reach the goal.
అప్పుడే మనకు ఆనందం ప్రాప్తిస్తుంది.
Then only we will attain bliss.
అంతవరకు మనకి ఈ ఆనందం అనేటువంటి వచ్చినా పోయినా ఇవంత ప్రాకృతమైన ఆనందములే కానీ శాశ్వత ఆనందములు కాదు.
Till then, you will be getting only temporary worldly happiness, but not the permanent bliss.
అట్టి శాశ్వతమైన ఆనందమునే అమృతత్వము అన్నారు.
That eternal bliss is immortality.
అది ఏ నిత్యము.
That is eternal.
దీనిని వేదములంతా కూడా వర్ణిస్తూ వచ్చాయి.
The Vedas extolled it.
దీనికి ఏమాత్రము గుణములు లేవు.
There are no attributes.
కనుకనే నిర్గుణం నిరంజనం సనాతనం నికేతనం నిత్య శుద్ధ బుద్ధ ముక్త నిర్మల స్వరూపిణం ఆనందం.
Therefore, that bliss is beyond all the attributes, beyond the form. It is always eternal and immortal.
కనుక మనం శాశ్వతానందాన్ని చేరాలనుకుంటే దైవత్వం అనేటువంటి దాన్ని మనం విశ్వసించాలి.
Therefore, in order to attain that permanent blissful state, we should have faith in God.
కనుక ఈ విశ్వాసాన్ని మనము దృఢమైనటువంటి విశ్వాసంగా మనం పెంచుకోవాలి.
Therefore, we should have strong faith.
Sai Prema everyone. Just to summarize what Swami said in the discourse. So Swami emphasized that the path to true bliss involves understanding and practicing three main principles. First principle is that what we must know, what has to be known, we should know that. This refers to the pursuit of spiritual knowledge, self-awareness. It's about gaining wisdom and understanding the deeper truths of existence, recognizing the divine within, and distinguishing between the transient and the eternal. We must know the transient nature of this world. So that's the first principle which Swami said.
The second principle that Swami mentioned in this book is that one must give up what has to be given up. So that means that involves letting go of any attachments, including desires and ego-driven pursuits that bind us to the material world. Renunciation here is not just about giving up physical possessions, but it is also about shedding negative emotions, harmful habits, and false identities that we may cling to.
And finally, the third one is that one must reach the goal that has to be attained. The goal is the ultimate realization of self and union with divine, often referred to as moksha or liberation. So it is the culmination of the spiritual journey where the individual soul merges with the universal consciousness, so experiencing oneness with the divine and eternal peace. So by applying sincerely these three principles, by seeking knowledge and practicing renunciation and striving for the ultimate goal, one can transcend the cycles of pleasure and pain and realize a state of pure, unchanging bliss.
So now we'll move on to asking the audience some questions that we've come up with based on this discourse. So please feel free, anyone, to come up and speak into the mic if you have any answers. And after the audience participates, we'll also share what we have come up with in terms of the answers for the questions. So the first question involves the nature of reality. And so the question is, what does it mean to know what has to be known? And how can we distinguish between what is real and what is illusory or not real in our lives?
I think what's important to be known is that we're not the body. God. So one of these things are always easy to realize that's okay. It's out of God. So yeah, that we're not the body. I think that's the most important thing to realize.
Anyone else? The question, I'll repeat it. What does it mean to know what has to be known? So how can we distinguish between what is real and what is not real in our lives?
So, one second. So I just want to add to the Brother Martin that what is need to be known. So first thing we have to observe what is separate from me. Of course you say my body. That means body is separate from you. And then you say my mind. That means mind is separate from you. And then whatever you can perceive internally or externally. Suppose you take thoughts. Thoughts are also separate from you. Right? Whatever is separate, take it away. Put it away. Then what is not separable from you? That means in one of your points, self-awareness. So what is the one is separating it? You have to understand what is the one is separating it. So that one is you. That one is the individual soul. And that one is, when they say about universal soul, so this one is a part of that universal soul.
What is really you is what enters the womb and doesn't last, and what leaves the body. That is the only real you, is one you can identify with the body. Everything else is not you.
Anyone else? So the answers that it was very nice hearing what everyone had to say. We kind of came up with a similar answer as well. What has to be known, according to what Swami says, what we came up with is the thing that has to be known is our true inner self. And in order to recognize what our true inner self is, we can do that through practices such as meditation and mindfulness. And we can develop a deeper awareness of this inner self. And practices like meditation and mindfulness will help us to see beyond the illusions that are created by desires, fears, and external influences. And also another thing that will help us to know what has to be known is detachment. So by practicing detachment, we can learn to view life's events and experiences without getting caught up in them and without getting too attached to them. This doesn't mean completely withdrawing from life, but rather seeing things as they are, without being swayed by emotions or desires that cloud our judgment. And finally, we also discussed that engaging with spiritual teachings, philosophy, and wisdom can guide us in understanding the difference between what is real and what is merely an illusion. So now we can move on to our second question.
Yeah, so the second question involves, Swami said, right, we need to return back to the source where we came. The goal is described as returning to the source, like from which we came. What does returning to that source or Atma mean in practical terms? Like how can we align our lives with this spiritual goal?
Yeah, there is in Kathopanishad, right? If you get a chance, I'm not going to tell the entire story. So if you see the story of Nachiketa, and then the conversation between Nachiketa and his father, his guru maybe, not his father, is between Nachiketa and Yama. So I don't want to go into the full details of that story, but at the end, Yama asked, like, who told you that you are not the body? Who told you that you are not the mind? So who told you that you are the vijnana? That means like that knowledge. Who told you that you are bliss? Right? So who is the one? So the moment you know the who, that means when I say you know, means the moment you realize the who, that itself is the true self. That's when you realized it. So you automatically merged with it. Suppose, for example, if you take, means you lose your existence. You get into the universal existence. For example, when a river, right? If you notice it, before river merges into ocean, right? Just, I experienced it. I went to the place where I touched and then drank a little bit, that when it's merging. So it's like pure water taste. So you don't see the saltiness. The moment it merges, few steps away, then river doesn't exist anymore. River became ocean. So the moment it merges, unknowingly you know that you are the universe, means you are the ultimate truth, ultimate soul. Yep. I would say it's an experience. Everyone has to experience it. You cannot say that, okay, this is how it is. So when you experience it, suppose if you eat a sweet, right? So what happens is, you can tell that, okay, it's sweet, but how much, you cannot express it. So that's how it is when it comes to this realization. It's unexplainable. Only that individual only knows it. So if you ask the individual how I should attain it, there is a process. So every guru explains the process, but he will never explain this much you will get it after you complete the process. That is each individual's experience its own.
Yeah. But how to practice this in our real lives, like in practical terms?
In
how to
real
remember this, like we are from that source and we need to go.
It's like constantly you say that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am I. If you see, there was a discussion between Swami and the students. Swami was asking, who am I? So once students were telling, oh, you are God, Swami. No. Somebody said, you are this, Swami. No. And then keep on, everyone was saying that Swami is saying, no. Then everyone kept quiet. They ran out of the answers. So they were thinking that Swami, it's very common. Swami always comes with an ultimate real answer. Then Swami was looking at everyone. This is happened in Kodaikanal. If you can go and watch it. Then Swami said in Telugu, Nenu Nene. That means I am I. So that's ultimately. So you have to tell yourself. The mantra is, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am I. That in Vedas also they said, Tat Tvam Asi, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atman Brahman. So there are so many things. So these, if you keep on thinking that, it won't come in a single day, it might come also, we don't know. We need, at the end, today Swami said, we need that faith. There is also a line said that faith should be there with Swami, then the grace will come. With that grace, the grace of Guru, one, it flows on you, ultimately you will be in that process. So first is faith, right? And then second is constantly think that, okay, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. Question yourself, why I'm not the body? Why I'm not the mind? If you start questioning, so you need not sit in one place to question this one, okay? Even when you are working, you are taking a break, you question yourself. While eating, you question yourself, what am I eating? From where this has come? So how is this sourcing me? So keep on questioning, right? So nobody will stop you to question. If that questioning can happen 24/7 within you, and slowly that knowledge will impart in you, and the light will shed in you. And then one day you will realize. Yep.
Nicely kept, Uncle. we need to have faith and we need to constantly practice that. Yeah. If anybody wants to add to that or have any different answers. Okay, we also came up with similar thing, but it's more about detachment from the materialism. So we need practicality. Practically, it involves like reducing attachment to the material possessions and desires, ego-driven pursuits. So by realizing these are transient and nothing is permanent, I think by practicing the same thing, saying like everything is not real again and again, then it might help to achieve our goal to merge into the same Atma from where we came. Yeah. We can move on to the next question now.
So Sandhya Aunty, if you wanted to.
Yeah,
add.
just, I'm sorry. Swami said that I have come to light the lamp of love in your heart, right? So one of the practices that I personally am doing is, thoughts are everywhere, mind is everywhere, desires, attachments, right? So if we can just focus on ourself, inner self, so if we can bring our attention to our inner self, bring the mind to our inner self and focus on the light of lamp within us, which is radiating that love and peace, if we can constantly, slowly, and one step at a time, just bring our attention back to that light, that love within us, the illumination, with the grace of Swami, will happen one day when he wills it. But the effort we have to put, and that effort itself brings the success.
Just to addition to that one, today there was a bhajan Martin brother sang. Why only he sang 3 times, I am the love, I am the love, I am the love. Not said 2 times, not 4 times, only 3 times. Body, mind, soul.
Yeah. I reminded of one more thing when Sandhya Aunty said like we need to keep our efforts. So Swami also generally says like I am the positive one. Like if this bulb, electricity in this bulb, like it needs to come, the positive node should combine with the negative one. So if the Swami is positive thing, negative thing is our effort. Like when these two are combined, then the grace flows, like the electricity flows in the bulb. I think maybe effort, keeping effort will automatically give the Swami's grace.
So that leads us to our third and final question, which covers the theme of light versus darkness, which is actually related to what Sandhya Aunty just mentioned, with the Swami saying that he has come to light the lamp in our hearts. So the discourse contrasts light and darkness, suggesting that darkness is merely just the absence of light. So, in what way can we discover the light in our lives? And how does the discovery of this light eliminate the metaphorical darkness that we experience?
Reddy Uncle always says if we start walking towards north, we are moving away from south. So I guess any time a negative thought comes in, fear or anxiety, most of us experience that, right? Fear, anxiety, doubt and these things. Just say, Swami, you're there, you're my guiding light, you're my source of strength. Swami, you're my everything. Without you, nothing will happen. So everything happens according to you. I guess if we have to switch our thoughts from fear mode and anxiety mode into Swami, Swami, you are there for me. Swami, you are the one who's doing this for me. Like everything, then automatically we are moving towards north, which is moving away from south. We are moving towards light, which is moving away from darkness. Without any effort being put on darkness, we are putting our effort on the light.
Anyone else?
I think one thing, and it's tricky because, in Advaita, there is only that, right? Only the one And so even the darkness is a tool that Swami uses for us so we can see, so that we can distinguish between the two. And it's a tricky thing because all is God, all is one, all is Him, right? And so this darkness is merely a tool of His to show us how to get away from it, to follow the light. But it's a tricky thing. So that's basically it, Sai Ram. Sai Ram.
The darkness there is Agyan, and the light is Jnana. So when you move away, taking out the layer, then like the almond, you peel, it's the skin that covers. Once you take the peel out, you get to the real fruit, yeah. So like that, we are covered in Ajnana, which is covering, thinking that, we are the body, we are the mind. Once we take that out, then the light is there that I and everybody around me are the same. That's the light, Jnana.
So just to addition to the tricky part, right? Yeah, can you repeat the question one more time?
So the question was, in what ways can we discover the light in our lives? And how does this discovery eliminate the metaphorical darkness that we experience?
So, a simple experiment if you want to do it, right? So, how do we want to go from darkness to light, right? So, there is a lot of knowledge part. We can go to spirituality and all this. Keep that aside for a while because it's tricky, like he said, it's tricky to understand. Let's go to the very rudimentary level, okay? First, get into a room which is dark, pitch dark. Make sure that it has a light in it, okay? Okay. Go into the room which is pitch dark, okay? Stay there, experience the darkness. Stay there, experience the darkness, okay? Then switch on the light. The moment you switch on the light, darkness has disappeared. Again, you switch it off, okay? So then darkness appeared. So here, the absence of light is darkness. There is no real darkness. That's what Swami says. To understand that one, it takes a little while. So you have to constantly process that one. So, for example, everything in our world is spherical, right? Everything is in a sphere form, right?
Round.
So, yeah, spherical. So, truly, sun is not going, means truly we are not getting the darkness. If you really see it, it's just movement of sun to the other side and the earth, both of them are moving. That's the reason the absence of sun is becoming the dark, right? But still, we have to remember, the moon is still shining on the up, right? Swami says that the entire universe is mix of sun and moon. If these two are absent, we are in seas. So the absence of sun is a darkness, but still it's a pleasant, it's not that it's completely dark. So we have to realize that the absence of sun is a kind of a darkness. It's not that it's dark.
Isn't in essence both light and darkness illusion? And he uses them as tools for us to progress.
Mm-hmm.
But in the very essence of light,
Mm-hmm.
everything's illusion.
Yeah.
Light and darkness.
That's what it says clearly in Purusha Suktam. Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam, right? Aditya Varanam Tamasaf Parastat. That means beyond the darkness there is a light. So there's a beautiful discourse in Swami's, he will explain it. If I tell it, I might mess it up. You have to listen from words of Swami, right? The way, how do we perceive that light? So who is the perceiver? Is the light. The perceiver is the light. The moment you know the perceiver is the light, rest everything you can elaborate how much ever you want. Light, dark, so many things you can explain. The perceiver is the light. The moment you know the perceiver is the light, you are done. You got it? The perceiver? The perceiver is the light.
The source is light.
Yeah. The self is a light.
The light is the light.
So thank you, everyone, for all your very insightful answers. We really enjoyed hearing what everyone has to say. We'll just quickly wrap up and just summarize everything that's been said, and we'll also include some of our own takeaways. So we basically concluded this whole discourse by saying that the journey to attain bliss is illuminated by the guidance of the Upanishads as well, which urge us to move from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, and from death to immortality, as shown in the slokam said by Swami. And the concept of illumination plays a central role here. Just as darkness is just merely the absence of light, ignorance is the absence of true knowledge. And how do we go from the unreal to the real? As Swami outlined to us, we should completely understand the transient nature of the physical world. And the thing that has to be known is that we should give up ignorance, illusion. And we should discover the light of truth and dispel the darkness of ignorance and realize the eternal nature of the self, which is beyond birth and death. And it is by doing these and putting these into practice that we can attain bliss. Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram. Thank you. Thanks to Engadal, so everybody is illumined, I think. Very nice discussion, and from darkness, light, is it both are illusion, and what is it? Is it, how do you practice, how do you experience that illumination, and so many beautiful discussions and points. Only thing is, I think, I see Manchanda when he's chanting Vedas, Kananam, it goes like very, but when he comes here, it's so soft, I don't know. And she sings very good, and when she comes here, it's a little bit more sound. How much we can increase, we cannot increase more than that, what it is. So, have a little, so that in Swami, you see, when he's talking, when he's outside in the veranda, it's beautiful. Only that particular person can hear, nobody else, even next person cannot hear. But when he comes to the mic, when he is doing it, we can see how sometimes he goes, it goes like really so. Why we have to learn everything from Swami, because so many people are here, then we have to, everybody has to clearly hear that. The question, because when asking us another question, what they couldn't hear, that means that we have to. Otherwise, so amazing. Thank you for preparing very, very well. This is a very difficult topic, and we have lunch waiting, and then suddenly you talk about this one. Everybody has to run to the lunch. But then it's just one simple thing to understand is that it is one experience of Professor Anil Kumar. It's always the discussion and with Anil Kumar and Swami is a lot of fun. Dr. Reddy does that. So what Swami did, so, he was sitting in this room and he's adjusting his hair like this before the mirror, Swami needs to look beautiful, so he's adjusting the hair. Then Professor Anil Kumar is always he takes little courage to just open and see what's going on. And he saw, and Swami was adjusting the hair. Then he thought, okay, just to go. But of course, before Swami knows all eyes are, his eyes are everywhere. Hey, come. Then, oh my God, okay, he got caught. So he comes inside, and Swami asks, hey, what did you see? Why? What is? Then of course he has a pun how to deal and how to talk to Swami. It's because he's all knowing, right? So he said very beautifully to Swami, there are so many youngsters, our students, they are beautiful. They are young people, they look very beautiful. But Swami, how come you are so beautiful than anybody, all youngsters, Even though you're 60 plus, but you are still so young, beautiful. Oh, is it? Swami wants to, is it, I'm beautiful? Then immediately, of course, he changes the topic and said, look at here, this is mirror. Then Swami said, I am here, and there is Swami inside the mirror. Swami said, there's a mirror, and Swami inside the mirror, and Swami. Remove the mirror, only Swami is there. The mirror is there, reflection is there. Triputi, Swami always says Triputi, three. The three comes into the picture, always this duality always is perceived as far as we are aware of it. But the real awareness that Swami is Swami and he is the only one, he is the one. So there's a very beautiful thing, analogy is that somebody told Swami Vivekananda that you are so, he's full of Viveka, so he renounced the world and he's, we all know how he renounced the world. He lived the life of the monk. You are so amazing, Then he said, no, you guys are amazing, he said. I renounced the worldly riches and I went to the riches of God. You guys are holding, you renounced the godly riches and then holding the worldly riches. That's the only difference. So if you really see, it's just how we attach to ourselves, right? So all are beautiful discussions. So I don't want to keep you guys fully here so that we have to go for lunch, and then I think there's going to be a little, I don't know how many people are going to be here for practice session, but then we'll have the food prayer and then go for lunch. Thank you. Sai Ram.
ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविर् ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिनः अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः